ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده رب لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد يا معشر المسلمين, as we want to bring about a benefit, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, with regards to iman bil Qadr, with regards to iman bil Qadr, that one must believe in the pre-decree. One must believe in this affair of the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So we want to try to benefit, and we're going to extract some benefits from that which we're going to mention, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So the belief in the predestination, al-Qadha, the pre-decree, al-Qadr, which is a pillar of the pillars of Iman, as it comes in the hadith of Jibril alayhi salam, where it is mentioned, and this is collected by Muslim, and tu'minu billah, and tu'mina billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rasuli wa yawmil akhiri wa tu'minu bi qadri khayrihi wa sharrihi. That faith, iman, is that you believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla, that you believe in His angels, in His books, in His messengers, and that you believe in the predestination, the good and the bad. Naam ya ayyuha al-ikhwa. So it is upon the believer, it is upon the Muslim to have this belief. The meaning of the predestination, al-Qadha, is that which Allah Azza wa Jalla has pre-decreed and has written in His preserved tablet. He has decreed it in His Lahul Mahfuz. And the pillars of Iman, the predestination, the Qadha, the pre-decree, al-Qadr, they are in four categories. As the shaykh hafidahullah ta'ala, he explains, Shaykh Fawzan, may Allah preserve him, he explains these four categories pertaining to al-Qadha and the pre-decree, al-Qadr. There are four. He mentions the element of knowledge. That is that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He knows everything with His internal knowledge. And that He is described with always and forever. And that He knows that which was and that which will be. That He is described with knowledge. He always is described with knowledge and forever. And that He knows and that which was and that which will be. And number two is that the element of writing. This is that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He wrote all that has happened in the past and will occur in the future. He has written all that has happened in the past and that which will occur in the future up until the hour is established in the preserved tablets. And number three, the element of will. This means that if Allah Azza wa Jalla wants something to occur, if He wants something to come into existence in His appointed time, He creates it by its will. Therefore, anything that Allah Azza wa Jalla does not want to occur, or will not mada, or will to exist, that which Allah doesn't want to occur, or will to exist, will not occur in His dominion. And number four, the element of existence and creation. Allah Azza wa Jalla is the creator of everything. قال الله سبحانه والله خلقكم وما تعملون. Allah created you and all that which you do. And this is in Surah Al-Fusilat. وقال جل وعلا في كتابه وخلق كل شيء فقدره تقديرا. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَقَدَّرَهُ تَقْدِيرًا. And this is in Surah al-Furqan. He created everything in a determined measure. وقال جل وعلا في كتابه الكريم في سورة القمر إن كل شيء خلقناه بقدر. And indeed we have created everything in the qadr, determined measure. وقال جل وعلا في كتابه الكريم في سورة الزمر الله خالق كل شيء. Allah created everything. So therefore Allah Azza wa Jalla is the creator of all things, from that which was and that which will be. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So it is upon the Muslim to believe in this affair. And if a Muslim, he leaves this particular aspect out from his belief system, then he has an incomplete belief. He has an incomplete belief. الإيمان الناقص. وماذا? These are the levels of Iman: pre-decree, the Qadr, predetermination, and Qadha. Whoever denies just one of them has disbelieved, as it is mentioned, as the shaykh explains, حفظه الله تعالى. قال جل وعلا في كتابه ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في السماء ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب. No calamity befalls on the earth, no upon yourselves, but it is inscribed in the book. في Surah al-Hadid. This is in the preserved tablet. So nothing occurs on the earth or within yourself except that it is established. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So nothing that occurs on the earth, from fitna, from earthquakes, from all kinds of trials and tribulations, as we see today in this day and time, that we see a lot of killing, a lot of suffering, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of people have lost their lives, a lot of the calamities that is taking place in Palestine. اللهم سر المسلمين في فلسطين وفي كل مكان. اللهم سرنا في ماذا المسلمين في فلسطين وفي كل مكان. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to help, to aid the Muslims in Palestine, وفي كل مكان, وفي غزة, وفي Yemen, وفي كل مكان. So the things that take place on this earth, it has already been decreed. This is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed to happen. So we must believe in this decree. We must accept this decree and be patient upon that which Allah has decreed, because this is the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال جل وعلا في كتابه, before we put it into existence, من قبل أن نبرأها, before we put it into existence, the shaykh he mentions, meaning before Allah created it. And this is the fourth level of Iman, pre-decreed, the Qadr. Before we put it into existence, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was knowledgeable of all of these affairs, even before bringing it into existence. وقال جل وعلا إن ذلك على الله يسير. And indeed that is easy for Allah subhanahu. And as a result, Allah created and decreed and wrote everything, and this was easy for him subhanahu. So why then did he inform us of this? Allah knows and created, he decreed, and he wrote everything, and all of this is easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال جل وعلا, so that you may not grieve over the things you fail to attain, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed us of this. It is mentioned, the shaykh mentions, if any affliction befalls you, and you know that this is from the pre-decree and the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla, then do not grieve or become saddened because it must happen. This is something that must take place. وقال جل وعلا ولا تفرحوا بما أنتكم ولا تفرحوا, and so that you do not rejoice over that which He has given to you. ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم, and this is in Surah Al-Hadid أيضا. So it is a must that these trials and these tribulations take place. Now, the responsibility upon the servant is that he is patient with the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. As the origin of all things, it stems from His pre-decree. ومصدرها عن قضائه عليم كل شيء قبل كونه عليم كل شيء قبل كونه. As the origin of all things extends from His pre-decree, and He knew everything before it exists. So therefore, ya ayyuhal ikhwah, everything takes place by His decree. Everything takes place by the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla. كل ولا عمل إلاها وقد قضاء وسبق عليهم به وسبق علمه به. نعم. قال جل وعلا في كتابه ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He mentions, should He who created not know, when He is ever subtle, when He is the ever subtle, well informed. نعم يا أيها الناس ويذل من يشاء فيأخذه بعدله ويهدي من يشاء. He misguides whoever He wills and forsakes him out of His justice. So the shaykh, he mentions, nothing takes place except that Allah decrees it. And anything that Allah does and anything that Allah does not decree does not take place. So, whatever it may be, one may say, how can an individual do such a thing? How come all of this, this fitna, this qital, why all of this is taking place? This is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed to happen. Nothing takes place except that Allah decrees it. And anything that Allah does not decree does not take place. So an individual, in his mind, he comes along and he says, what kind of God is this that He allows such and such to take place? What kind of God is this that He allows innocent people to get killed? He allows innocent men, women, and children to get killed. He allows people to suffer. He allows all of this fitna. One may argue, one may come up with this, and he's not able to conceptualize and to visualize. He's only thinking. This thinking causes a person to go astray because of his lack of understanding. His lack of understanding, his ignorance. Allah knows everything through His internal knowledge, an attribute with which He is described with always and forever. So therefore, this is the pillar of knowledge, meaning its course of action, occurrence, and existence of an affair as it is appointed time. At its appointed time is from the pillars of the pre-decree. That which is taking place, it is meant for it to happen. Nothing comes from Allah's slave, from speech and actions, good or bad, from disbelief and faith, or mada, or tasbih, glorification, or cursing or abuse, except that Allah Azza wa Jalla decrees, it creates, and brings it into existence. قال الله سبحانه ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. Should not, or should he who created not know when he is the ever subtle, well informed? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is well acquainted, he knows everything. So it is mentioned, as the shaykh, he explains this verse, ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. He says the word should is used here as a stipulative question, which means Allah did not create anything except after his knowledge. Allah knew occurrences that would take place before he created them, and he is the ever subtle, he whom nothing is hidden from, well informed of all things. So Allah Azza wa Jalla misguides whomever he wills out of his justice, and he guides whomever he wills from his merit, from his fawzan. So therefore, the fawzan is not. So the merit is from Allah Azza wa Jalla, and he knows it upon whomever he wills, or mada, he bestows it, afwan, upon whomever he wills. قال جل وعلا ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. And that is the fadl of Allah Azza wa Jalla, the merit which he grants to whomever he wills. As for evil, then Allah causes it to befall those befitting and deserving of it. So therefore it is from Allah's justice. And he is praiseworthy regarding both his merits and his justice. He is praiseworthy regarding his fadl and his justice. Allah Azza wa Jalla therefore misguides an individual out of his justice. However, the cause comes from the individual. The cause, the sabab, the cause, it comes from the individual. If the person does not accept the truth and rejects and denies the truth, just as the one who disbelieved did with the prophets, then Allah recompenses them and therefore misguides them as a punishment due to their actions and rejection. As the shaykh explains, نعم يا أيها الناس وقال الله سبحانه فلما زاغوا أزاغ الله قلوبهم والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. So when they deviated, Allah caused their hearts to deviate, and Allah does not guide those who are corrupt. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah did not guide these individuals due to them being corrupt. And likewise, he did not guide the disbelievers due to their disbelief, just as he did not guide the oppressor due to their oppression. So the affairs therefore are tied to their causes. قال الله سبحانه فأما من أعطى واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنسره لليسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للعسرى فينسره لليسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للعسرى. نعم, in the ayat, Allah Azza wa Jalla, he mentions, and as for the one who gives in charity and keeps his duty to Allah Azza wa Jalla, and he fears him and he believes in his al-husna, we will make smooth for him a path of ease. And whoever as for him who is greedy, but however, as for the individual who is greedy and miser, and he thinks he is self-sufficient, and he denies al-husna, we will make smooth for him the path of evil. As a result, Allah Azza wa Jalla, he grants success to and guides the individual who loves and accepts and seeks after good. As occurs in the saying, Well, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He mentions وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَى زَادَهُمْ هُدًى وَأَتَاهُمْ تَقْوَاهُمْ. And as for those who were led to guidance, Allah increased them in guidance and made them pious. So all of these affairs are from the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla, from the individual who is the corrupter, from the person who is upon oppression, from the person who is upon misguidance, that all of them are upon the affair that they have chosen for themselves. And as for he who rejects the good and he disbelieves in it and he is stubborn, then Allah Azza wa Jalla forsakes him as a punishment, and not rather as a punishment and out of justice. Allah does not misguide the people out of faith, nor does He guide the people of misguidance and rejection. Rather, Allah puts the affairs in their appropriate places. He puts guidance in its appropriate place, and He puts misguidance in its appropriate places, in its appropriate place. And this is all from His justice and wisdom. Moreover, every person's path to bliss or misery is decreed and made easy for them based upon the actions they put forth. For individual is upon corruption, he's a criminal. He's a oppressor. This is the path he has chosen for himself. This is the way that he lives. This is his this is his hal. This is his condition. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made easy for them based upon the actions they put forth. Qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to his companions, there's not one of you, ما منكم من أحد إلا وقد كتب مقعده من النار ومقعده من الجنة. There's not one of you except his seat is in hell or paradise is written. Meaning, this has been decreed by Allah Azza wa Jalla. So the companions, they said, Ya Rasulullah, afala, O Messenger of Allah, should we not rely upon that? أفلا نتكل على كتابنا وندع عمل أو كما قال. They mention, O Messenger of Allah, the companions, should we not rely upon that which has been written for us and leave off actions? Meaning, those whom paradise is decreed will enter it, and those for whom hell is decreed will enter it. So the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam, he mentions i'lamu or i'malu faqulu muyassiru lima khuliqa lahu. Do actions because every person will have that which he is created for made easy for him. So it is upon the person that which the person display, the actions that you put forward. If you put forward good actions, if you're a person of khair and you live up to that, you die upon that, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala, the path of Jannah will be made easy for you. And as for the person who put forth evilness and corruption and oppression and killing, he lived his life upon that and he died upon that. And likewise, that would likewise the same. So here Allah Azza wa Jalla makes clear that guidance and misguidance are caused by the individual. And this is from Allah's justice and His merit and His fawzan. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So no one no one lives upon corruption except that he is a corrupter. The person who lives upon this corruption of oppression and killing and all of that, he lives upon that. This is his situation. He does the actions of the person who is upon evil, this person, and he dies upon that, then his situation will be that which Allah has decreed. So Allah created, as is mentioned, that Allah created, if Allah only created good, then everyone will enter paradise. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants individuals to enter paradise through their actions. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, "Udkhulu al-jannah bima kuntum ta'malun." Enter into paradise by that which you used to do. So therefore, no one enters paradise except by his own actions. Except by his own actions. Nor does anyone enters the hell except by his own actions. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So this is a reminder that we want to remind ourselves with of the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla. As it is mentioned, that the Lord of all mankind, Rabbul Ibadi, Rabbu Amalihim, ومقدر حركاتهم وعجلهم, the Lord of all mankind, Rabbul Ibadi, Rabbul Amalihim, the Lord of all mankind in their actions, and the one who decrees their movement, وعجلهم, in their lifespan. Allah is the Lord of all mankind. He is their owner, and the one who does as he pleases with them. And likewise, it is Allah Azza wa Jalla who cultivates man, and he feeds him from his blessings. In the same manner, it is Allah. Nada, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is the one who does all of this for his creation. He cultivates man. He cultivates a Rabb, meaning he cultivates man through revelation. Allah cultivates their bodies with provisions, and it is he who cultivates their hearts through revelation. So therefore, it is the cultivator of mankind. Rabbul Ibadi wa Rabbul Amalihim wa Muqaddaru Harakatihim wa Ajlihim. Naam ya ayyuhan nas, the Lord of all mankind in their actions, the one who decrees their movements and their lifespan. So everything that is taking place, it is taking place because Allah Azza wa Jalla decreed it. He willed it to take place for a particular time, only that he knows. He allowed the oppression to take place. He allowed the killing to take place. He allowed all of this, the murdering, to take place because he knows the wisdom of that which he does. And he is not to be questioned of that which he does. And this is for the Muslim to have this belief, believing in the Qadr of Allah Azza wa Jalla. It is upon him to have iman in this. And as the shaykh, he mentions that if the person disbelieves in the Qadr, then he is not a Muslim. He is a disbeliever. Naam ya ayyuha al-ikhwa. On the same hand, it is Allah who creates man's actions, but at the same token, it is ماذا? It is Allah who creates man's actions. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه والله خلقكم وما تعملون. And Allah created you and all that which you all do. Allah created that which you do. So therefore Allah created all that which you do. there is no individual who is independent of his actions or creates besides Allah. Rather, it is Allah who creates. And the creation do not create their own actions. The creation doesn't create their own actions. The creation does not move except by the decree of Allah. You can't move your leg except that Allah has decreed it. Except that Allah has decreed and willed that your leg move, or your hand, or that you can move your arm, or you can move your head, or the legs. None of that will take place except that Allah has willed it. He decreed that. The creation does not move except by the decree of Allah. It is He who decrees their movements and their lifespan, and when their lives will end. As Allah He mentioned, وما يعمر من معمر ولا ينقص من عمره إلا في كتاب. And no one is given a long life, nor is his life shortened, except it is written in the book. نعم يا أيها الناس. So when we understand this concept, when we understand and come to the realization that which Allah decreed, it is going to happen, and that which Allah didn't decree will never happen, then we will be comfortable, because we understand this affair. The Muslim, he have this correct belief system. He wouldn't be shaking and moving and nervous in regards to this, because he has an understanding that this decree is from Allah Azza wa Jalla. So he submits to it, and he is patient, and he works by that which pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by continuously worshiping Him and making istighfar, and constantly in the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So this is what we want to mention and benefit with. This was explained by Shaykh Fawzan, and whatever mistakes that I have made from the slip of the tongue, it was from myself, and that which came of it from good, it was from Allah Azza wa Jalla. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to benefit from that which we heard. اللهم انصر المسلمين في فلسطين وفي كل مكان. اللهم انصر المسلمين في فلسطين وفي كل مكان. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد